In the kingdom of Aurelia, everyone feared the night, not because of monsters, not because of ghosts, but because the moon was dying. Every year it grew dimmer, every year its silver light faded, and with it, the world's magic disappeared. Healing spells weakened, ancient forests withered, stars vanished from the sky. Even dreams became harder to remember. The royal astronomers warned the king the moon had less than 10 years left. After that, darkness, permanent darkness. No one knew why. No one except one girl. 17-year-old Selene Voss knew exactly what was happening because every night she stole moonlight. Selene lived alone in an abandoned windmill beyond the city walls. To everyone else, she appeared ordinary, quiet, forgettable, harmless. But every midnight, she climbed onto the roof, held out her hand, and caught moonlight. Actual moonlight. Silver streams flowed from the sky, wrapping around her fingers like ribbons, then disappearing into a crystal bottle. One bottle every night for 10 years. Thousands of bottles hidden beneath the windmill, filled with stolen moonlight. Selene hated doing it, yet she couldn't stop because she wasn't stealing it by choice. She was stealing it because the moon demanded it. Take it. The voice came every night, soft, ancient, lonely. Take it before he finds me. Selene had heard the voice since childhood, a voice from the moon itself. And no matter how strange it sounded, she obeyed, because whenever she refused, the moon cried. Actual silver tears fell from the sky. One evening, everything changed. A star fell, not near the kingdom, not beyond the mountains, directly into Selene's windmill. The roof exploded, wood shattered, moonlight bottles crashed, silver energy flooded the room, and in the center of the destruction lay a boy dressed in black and silver armor, about her age, unconscious, glowing faintly. Selene stared. "That's new." The boy groaned, opened his eyes, and immediately sat up. "Where am I?" "My house." The boy looked around, then froze. His eyes widened. "No." "What?" He pointed toward the thousands of crystal bottles, each filled with stolen moonlight. "You." "Me?" "You're the thief." Silence. "Excuse me?" The boy stood, slowly, carefully, as though he'd found something after years of searching. "I've crossed half the heavens looking for you." "That's concerning. You stole the moon." Selene blinked. "I definitely didn't steal the entire moon. Not yet." That was somehow worse. "Who are you?" The boy looked toward the night sky, toward the fading moon, then back at her. "My name is Orion." A pause. "And I'm the moon's last night." Thunder rolled across the heavens. Not ordinary thunder, silver thunder. The moon suddenly darkened, much darker than before, as though a giant shadow had crossed its face. Both of them looked upward, and for a brief moment, Selene saw it. A gigantic figure standing on the moon, watching Earth, watching her. Its eyes glowed gold. Its smile was terrible. And, from impossibly far away, a voice echoed across the night. "At last!" The moon cracked, a thin silver fracture spreading across its surface, and somewhere beyond the stars, something ancient was beginning to wake up. The crack spread across the moon, thin, silver, terrifying. Selene stared upward, unable to move, unable to breathe. The gigantic figure standing on the moon vanished, but the feeling remained. A feeling that something had noticed her, something ancient, something hungry. What was that? Orion's face had gone pale, very pale. We're out of time. That's not an answer. It's the only one that matters. The moon darkened further, the silver crack widened, and somewhere beyond the stars, a deep metallic sound echoed, like chains breaking. Orion walked toward the shattered Moonlight bottles. Thousands of silver lights floated around the room, like tiny captured stars. He stared at them. "You've been collecting Moonlight for 10 years? Selene nodded. "The moon asked me to." Orion froze. "It spoke to you?" "Every night." The knight was genuinely shocked. That shouldn't be possible. People keep saying things are impossible. Because they are. Yet they keep happening. For a moment, Orion had no response. Fair point. Selene folded her arms. "Now explain everything." The knight sighed, a very tired sigh, the sigh of someone carrying too many secrets. "The moon isn't just a moon." Silence. "Of course it isn't. It's a prison." There it was, the terrible truth. A prison for what? Orion looked toward the heavens. A king. Moonlight suddenly erupted from the broken bottles. The room vanished. A vision appeared around them, an ancient memory. A kingdom, not on Earth, on the moon. Silver towers stretched toward the stars. Crystal rivers flowed through glowing streets. Gardens bloomed beneath constellations. Beautiful, impossible, alive. Long ago, Orion's voice echoed through the vision. The moon was home to the Silver Kingdom. People filled the streets, laughing, living, dreaming. Magic flowed everywhere, because the moon was the source of all magic. Its light nourished dreams, hope, wonder, every magical thing in the world. At the center of the kingdom stood a throne, and upon it sat a king, tall, radiant, powerful. A crown of silver stars rested upon his head. "King Lucian," Orion whispered, "the first ruler of Moonlight." The king smiled. The kingdom flourished for centuries. Until one day, a shadow arrived, a darkness from beyond the stars, a thing older than worlds, older than light, older than dreams. The shadow offered the king a gift, unlimited power, unlimited knowledge, unlimited control. And he accepted. The vision darkened. The king changed, slowly, then completely. His silver crown turned gold. His eyes filled with darkness. His smile became cruel. The shadow consumed him, transforming him into something else. Something monstrous, something immortal. The Golden King. Orion's voice trembled. The devourer of Moonlight. The vision shifted again. War. Moonlight knights battling golden monsters. Silver towers collapsing. Entire cities burning. The Silver Kingdom dying. At the center stood a woman. A queen. Radiant. Brave. Heartbroken. Queen Celestia. Orion bowed his head. The last queen. The queen looked toward the heavens, then made a terrible choice. She sacrificed the entire kingdom, the towers, the cities, everything, transforming the moon itself into a prison for the Golden King. The vision shattered. The windmill returned. Silence filled the room. "So the thing I saw is him," Orion nodded, "the Golden King. And he's escaping. Why Selene?" Selene looked at the thousands of bottles. Then why did the moon tell me to steal its light? Orion hesitated. For the first time, he seemed afraid. Because the moon isn't dying. What? It's hiding. Silence. What do you mean? The knight pointed toward the bottles. The moon stored its power inside you. Inside me? And inside those. Selene stared. Thousands of bottles. Thousands of stolen moonlights. 10 years. Every night. Every bottle. Every drop. Not theft. Protection. The moon was saving itself from the Golden King. Then another voice spoke. A familiar voice. The same voice Selene had heard since childhood. Gentle, lonely, ancient. Forgive me. Silver light filled the room. A woman appeared, made entirely of moonlight. Beautiful, ethereal, sad. Selene's eyes widened. You, the woman smiled. Hello, Selene. You're the moon? Part of it. The woman touched one of the bottles. I am Queen Celestia. Orion immediately dropped to one knee. Your Majesty. The queen looked exhausted, as though she had been fighting for centuries. The prison is failing. The moon cracked again, much larger this time. A giant fracture spread across its surface, visible across the entire world. People screamed in distant cities. Astronomers panicked. The night sky trembled. And then, the queen looked directly at Selene, tears of silver light in her eyes. Because you are not the girl who stole moonlight. Silence. What? You are the girl made from moonlight. The room froze. Orion stared, completely shocked. No. The queen nodded sadly. Yes. Selene. The moon shook violently. You are my daughter. Before anyone could speak, a deafening roar echoed from the heavens. The moon split further. Golden light burst through the cracks, and a gigantic golden eye opened upon the moon's surface, watching Earth, watching Selene, and the Golden King's voice thundered across the world. I found you. The golden eye opened upon the moon. Larger than oceans, brighter than stars, terrifying. The entire world saw it. Kings abandoned their councils. Sailors dropped to their knees. Astronomers fled their observatories. Because the moon was staring back, and it was angry. I found you. The Golden King's voice rolled across the heavens. Mountains trembled, clouds scattered, the silver cracks spread wider. The prison was breaking, fast, far too fast. Selene stood frozen. I'm her daughter? Queen Celestia nodded sadly. Yes, but that's impossible. You were born from moonlight. The queen touched Selene's forehead. A memory awakened. Not a vision, a memory. Selene's memory. 10 years ago, the moon was already dying, already weakening, already losing its battle against the Golden King. Queen Celestia stood alone within the prison, surrounded by broken towers, broken dreams, broken centuries. The Golden King laughed from behind silver chains. I cannot stop you forever. The queen knew he was right. Eventually, the prison would fail. Eventually, he would escape. Eventually, darkness would consume everything. Unless she created a future, a chance, a hope. The queen gathered the moon's remaining light, every dream, every wish, every hopeful thought ever made beneath the night sky. She forged them together into a child, a little girl, a girl with silver eyes, a girl named Selene. You weren't born, the queen whispered. You were created. The memory faded. Selene stumbled backward. "No! I know it's difficult. I'm not real." The queen immediately shook her head. "You are more real than anyone." Tears filled her eyes. "Because you were created from hope itself." Silence. Then a slow clap echoed through the room. Clap, clap, clap. Everyone froze. The sound wasn't coming from Earth. It was coming from the moon. The Golden King smiled. A touching story. The moon cracked again. Silver thunder shook the heavens. Orion suddenly stepped forward, his expression troubled, guilty. "There's something else." Selene looked toward him. "What?" Orion hesitated for the first time since arriving. "I lied." That was rarely a good sign. "About what?" The knight lowered his head. "I'm not the last Moon Knight." Silver armor began glowing. Ancient runes appeared across it. The room filled with moonlight. "Then who are you?" The answer stunned everyone, even Queen Celestia. "I'm Prince Auralin." Silence. Absolute silence. "The prince?" Orion nodded. "The son of Queen Celestia." The queen stared at him, unable to speak. "Auralin." "Hello, Mother." For a moment, nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Because Prince Auralin had died centuries ago. At least, that was the story. Auralin raised his hand. A hidden memory emerged. The final battle of the Silver Kingdom. The Golden King stood victorious, silver armies shattered, cities burning, the moon collapsing. And before him stood Prince Auralin, the queen's son, the kingdom's heir. "Run!" the queen begged. "I can't." The prince smiled, a sad smile. Someone has to lock the door." Golden fire exploded across the battlefield. The prince charged forward, directly at the Golden King. The moon prison activated. Silver chains erupted from heaven, wrapping around the Golden King, dragging him into the prison. But there was a cost. Someone had to remain inside. Someone had to guard the lock, for centuries, alone. "You stayed," Selene whispered. Auralin nodded. "For 300 years. The queen's eyes filled with tears. "My son." "I promised I'd protect the kingdom." The moon shook again, harder than ever. A gigantic crack split the moon. This time, it didn't stop. Silver fragments drifted into space. Entire mountains broke apart. The prison failed, finally, completely. And from within the fracture, a golden hand emerged, larger than cities, larger than mountains. The first part of the Golden King to escape. The stars dimmed. Dreams across the world began fading. Children forgot their wishes. Artists forgot their inspiration. Inventors forgot their ideas. Hope itself weakened because the Golden King fed upon it. The enormous hand gripped the edge of the moon, pulling, breaking, escaping. The Golden King laughed. "At last." Queen Celestia turned toward Selene, fear in her eyes. Real fear. "We have one chance." "What chance?" The queen looked toward the moon, toward destiny itself. "To reach the heart of Moonlight. Aurelian's face turned pale. No. What's the heart of Moonlight? Neither answered immediately. Then the queen whispered, "The place where dreams are born." The moon cracked again, and from the widening fracture, a second golden eye slowly opened. The second golden eye opened, then a third, and a fourth. Cracks spread across the moon like shattered glass. The night sky trembled, stars flickered, dreams faded. Across the world, people forgot things they loved. Songs, stories, promises. Hope itself was being consumed. The Golden King was awakening. "We don't have much time." Queen Celestia's voice shook. For the first time, Selene realized the queen was afraid, truly afraid. How do we reach the heart of Moonlight? The queen pointed upward, toward the moon. By going home. Thousands of Moonlight bottles suddenly began glowing, one after another. Silver streams burst from them. The stolen moonlight. 10 years of collected light. 10 years of preparation. 10 years of hope. The streams joined together, forming a bridge stretching from Earth to the moon, across the stars, across the heavens. "That is impossible," Auralin sighed. "Please stop saying that." Selene actually laughed, for a brief moment, even now. Then the three of them stepped onto the bridge and began climbing. Higher, higher, higher. Below them, Earth became smaller. The oceans shimmered. Mountains became shadows. Clouds drifted like silver mist. Above them, the moon loomed larger, broken, cracked, dying, yet still beautiful. Hours later, they arrived. The surface of the moon stretched before them, a kingdom of ruins. Silver towers broken by time, ancient roads buried beneath crystal dust, collapsed palaces, silent gardens, a civilization frozen in its final moment. Selene walked slowly. The place felt familiar, as though she remembered it, even though she had never been there. "You have," the queen smiled sadly. "Part of you was born here." A distant roar echoed, the Golden King's prison, breaking further. At the center of the ruined kingdom stood a tree, a gigantic tree, larger than mountains. Its branches stretched across the stars. Its leaves glowed silver. Its roots disappeared deep within the moon. Beautiful, ancient, alive. Selene stopped, speechless. "What is it?" Queen Celestia approached the tree, gently touching its bark. The heart of Moonlight. Silver light flowed through its branches. Every dream, every wish, every act of kindness, every spark of hope. The tree glowed brighter. "They all begin here." Selene stared upward. Millions of lights shimmered among the branches. Dreams, actual dreams, living, growing, waiting to be born. A sudden laugh echoed across the moon, deep, ancient, terrible. The ground shook, the sky cracked, and from the broken prison emerged the Golden King. At last, fully visible, towering, magnificent, terrifying. Golden armor covered his body. A shattered crown rested upon his head. His eyes glowed like dying suns. But what shocked Selene wasn't his appearance, it was his expression. He looked sad, incredibly sad. "You finally came." The king looked directly at Selene, not with hatred, with longing. "What do you want?" The Golden King smiled sadly. "The same thing I always wanted." "Which is?" The king looked toward the heart of Moonlight, toward the silver tree. "To stop it." Silence. "Stop dreams? Stop pain." The king's voice softened. "Every dream that fails becomes suffering." The tree flickered. "Every hope that breaks becomes grief." The stars dimmed. "Every wish denied becomes sorrow." For a moment, Selene saw something, not a monster, not a tyrant, a man who had suffered, a man who had seen too much heartbreak. "So you decided to destroy hope?" The king nodded. "Without dreams, no disappointment. Without hope, no despair. Without tomorrow, no loss." The words echoed, and for a moment, they almost made sense. Almost. Then Selene remembered every person she had ever met, every dream, every story, every possibility. "That's not living." The Golden King looked at her. "No, it's surviving." The heart of Moonlight suddenly darkened. Leaves began falling. Silver dreams drifted toward the ground. Dying. The tree was weakening, fast. Queen Celestia stepped forward. "The heart cannot survive much longer." Aurelian's face grew pale because he knew what that meant. "No, Mother!" The queen looked at Selene, tears shining in her eyes. "There is one way." Silence. "What way?" The queen touched Selene's cheek, the same way she had 10 years ago. "The heart needs a guardian." The realization hit instantly. "No!" Aurelian stepped forward. "Absolutely not." The queen smiled sadly. "It has always been her choice." The moon shook violently. The Golden King raised his hand. The final battle was beginning. And Selene suddenly found herself standing before the heart of Moonlight, faced with a choice that would decide the fate of every dream in existence. The moon was breaking apart. Silver fragments drifted through space. Stars dimmed, dreams faded. The heart of Moonlight weakened with every passing second, and beneath its glowing branches stood Selene, facing a choice that would decide the future of every dream. "The heart needs a guardian," Queen Celestia's words echoed softly. Aurelian stepped forward. "There must be another way." The queen looked away, because there wasn't. For centuries, the heart of Moonlight had been sustained by the moon itself. Now, the moon was dying, its power fading, its time ending. Without a guardian, the heart would perish, and with it, every future dream, every wish, every spark of hope. The Golden King watched silently, not attacking, not speaking, simply waiting, as though he already knew what would happen. "If I become the guardian," Selene swallowed, "what happens to me?" The queen's eyes filled with tears. "You become part of the heart." Silence. "Forever?" The queen couldn't answer, because the answer was yes. The Golden King suddenly stepped forward. The ground trembled beneath him. "No!" Everyone froze. "What?" The king looked toward Selene, then toward the heart, then toward the stars. "I won't allow it." Auralin frowned. "Since when do you care?" The Golden King laughed softly, a sad laugh. "Since I remembered." Silence. "Remembered what?" The king removed his crown, slowly, carefully. The golden metal cracked, then shattered, and beneath it, the darkness vanished. For the first time, Selene saw King Lucian, not the monster, the man. The king who once ruled the Silver Kingdom, the king who once loved his people, the king who protected dreams. "I was wrong." The words barely rose above a whisper. "For centuries, I believed pain came from dreams." He looked toward the heart. "But pain came from losing them." Silver tears filled his eyes, and I confused the two. The darkness around him began breaking apart. The ancient shadow that had corrupted him screamed, actually screamed, because Lucian was fighting back. The Golden King staggered. Black cracks spread across his armor, and suddenly something emerged. A shadow, not a man, not a monster, a living darkness. The same darkness that had arrived from beyond the stars. Long ago, the thing that corrupted Lucian, the thing that fed on despair, the thing that whispered fear into broken hearts, the real enemy. The shadow rose above the moon, larger, larger, larger still, until it covered the stars. Hope always ends.
Its voice echoed through the cosmos. Dreams always fail. The heart of Moonlight trembled. Love always breaks. The tree began dying, and eventually, the darkness smiled. Everyone gives up. "No!" Selene stepped forward. The shadow laughed. "Why not?" Selene looked toward Earth, toward countless lives, countless stories, countless people. "Because they try again." The heart glowed, faintly. Fails, brighter. People get hurt, brighter. Hope breaks, brighter. But every morning, the stars flickered. Someone chooses to hope anyway. The heart exploded with silver light. The thousands of moonlight bottles on Earth shattered. Every stolen drop of moonlight, every dream Selene had protected, every wish, every possibility returned. The light surged across the universe, flowing into the heart, flowing into Selene. The moon began changing. Its cracks glowed gold and silver. Its broken surface transformed. The dying moon became something new, something brighter, something stronger. A dawn moon, a moon born from both night and morning. The shadow streamed. The light engulfed it, not destroying it, transforming it. Because darkness wasn't the enemy, hopelessness was. And where hope exists, darkness loses its power. The shadow dissolved into starlight, scattering across the heavens, gone at last. The stars brightened, brighter than ever before. The heart of Moonlight flourished. New branches spread across the cosmos. New dreams bloomed. New futures appeared. King Lucian smiled, free at last. Queen Celestia embraced him for the first time in centuries. Aurelian laughed, actually laughed. And Selene, the girl made of moonlight, the girl who stole moonlight, the girl who saved dreams. She returned to her little windmill. Only now, she no longer collected moonlight. She simply watched it, and on clear nights,
The moon sometimes whispered, not warnings, not fears, just one simple message. Thank you. Selene would smile, then look toward tomorrow, because she finally understood something. Dreams aren't valuable because they always come true. They're valuable because they give us a reason to keep moving forward. Every dream carries a risk, the risk of failure, the risk of heartbreak, the risk of disappointment. But dreams also carry possibility. Possibility is how worlds change, how people grow, how darkness becomes dawn. The stars do not shine because they are certain. They shine because they choose to. And so can we.